Hey guys, CryptoVince here. I'm gonna try to make this video as short as possible, but I have many things to talk about. So we trade EOS, and in the channel, many members were wondering how did I make 20% or how I could manage to make 20% on this trade itself, 20% of my total portfolio. That might sound crazy for some of you, but it's a highly possible. So I'm going to show you guys how to use a position size calculator, um, risking just a certain percent of your portfolio, which is usually 1%, and how you can manage to increase your total portfolio by 20% with only one trade, which in this case is EOS, that we post in our premium channel. Okay, so this was the analysis, and I want to show you guys how we present the information in our premium channel. Okay, um, so this is our chat. This is our TA channel. Okay, so this is how the information was presented. EOS call, a little about the technical analysis. You guys can stop the video and read what the description if you want, and then we provide some targets that are explained in either percentage or risk reward. We of course go by the risk reward strategy, and if you guys don't know what it means, I will explain this soon. So this is how the information was presented. This is the chart, and this is our bot that tells you the trade has been activated. Actually, I can go in the bot, in our CryptoVince bot, and show you guys how we manage the trade very quick. So this is our bot. If I put trade list, I can have the list of all the trades that are active and the one that has been stopped out, and all other information. I mean, you can click on let's say ZRX, and you can have all the information about ZRX. We're up and we close it, take profit was hit, blah blah blah, and XLM, the one that we got stopped out, so we lost 4% one reward, and so on. So you can take any more information on our bot regarding every trade we take. So let's go back in our TA channel. So this is how information were presented, and let's go straight to the chart so I can show you guys here. Okay, so in the description, in the technical analysis description, why we took this trade, first of all, because I noticed this resistance here of this flat top triangle, called also ascending triangle. The trade broke resistance, retested the broken resistance, which became support, and I thought about opening a short trade and putting a very tight stop loss just below the resistance, because I mean I could have put a stop loss below the support here, but my risk reward would have been the same. Okay, in this case my 2% is placed just below the resistance, because if the trend goes way below the resistance to hit my diagonal support here, well, my analysis would have failed, right? So my analysis right now, I'm trading this coin because it's actually retesting the resistance. So I'm gonna place a stop loss just below it. If my stop loss gets hit, I'm gonna lose the trade and probably buy back later on. So that's why my stop loss is so tight. And when the stop loss is very tight, your rewards are higher. Okay, so when I talk about risk reward, what I mean in this trade, the red box is the stop loss, right? And it's 2%. If he reaches my first target, which is here, I'm going to reach 5%. So that's 2.8 times my stop loss. Okay? Of course, if I go higher to my second take profit and my third take profit, of course, my percentage will increase, as well as my risk reward, my reward, sorry. Okay, so what I mean by this risk reward thing that um, newbies and beginners might not understand. This is a very important strategy to understand, and is probably the first thing you should learn about trading, because it requires you to understand risk management and how to use a position size calculator. This is very important, and when I start trading, before I knew this, my trading was a mess. As soon as I learned this a little strategy, my trading mentality changed like crazy. And I want to show you guys here how I can manage to increase my total portfolio by 20% with only this EOS trade. Okay, this EOS trade already reached the first, second, and third target, as I can show you here in the live chart. First target was here, then second, third, and then when we reach our third target, I suggested more targets, so fourth and a fifth target. Okay, everybody can manage to trade this call however they wish. I mean, I can suggest our members a stop, I can suggest a take profit, and I would suggest the easiest way, not the easiest way, I would say the safest way. Which is the safest way? When you reach take profit 1, you should take some profit. Then when you take profit 2, you should take some profit out, and maybe remaining with 25% that of your profit that you can go you can leave in the trade for the long run. But this is a but. If I'm a riskier trader or a more experienced trader and you want to do whatever you want with your trade, you can do it. You can do whatever you want. So because I'm a pretty busy guy, I decided to just put my stop loss 10% below after reaching take profit 2 and let the coin fly. Okay, I never took any take profit. I decided to just set a trailing stop. A trailing stop is a stop that goes up with the price while the price goes up, and then if the price drops, your stop loss doesn't move, and if you get hit, well, you lose 10%. So that's the risky part of this kind of strategy. While on the other hand, you can just take profit too. When the trend reaches take profit too, well, you take profit and you're happy. But if I want to be riskier, why can I put a stop just 10% below and let the price fly? I mean, I can do whatever I want. So I'm trying to show you guys now a more aggressive approach that I took, so you guys understand why is it possible to make 20% of my total portfolio in just one trade. Okay, so in order to understand this, we need to go over the position size and what risk reward actually means. Okay, so to make one thing very clear, every time I say I'm risking 1% of my portfolio to make 20%, what I mean by that, when I say I'm risking 1%, I'm not saying that I'm putting only 1% of my total portfolio in the trade, but that 1% is the amount I'm willing to risk. Okay, so for example, this is our position size calculator, very simple one. Let's say we have a total portfolio of $10,000. I put here $10,000. Okay, and I want to risk here 1%. 1%, it's an amount that we suggest our members to risk. You can decide to risk 2% of your portfolio on every trade. You can decide to risk 0.5% of your portfolio per trade. Depends on how risky you want to be. But remember, with 1% risk for every trade, you can trade how many times? 100 times until you lose everything, right? Here, this is your stop loss percentage from entry, and this is actually the position size, so the amount of money you have to put on the trade with those data. Okay, so let's go over the EOS trade and how you should have took this trade if you followed our analysis. Okay. is it? Okay, so here I want to decide, I have to decide how much money should I put on this trade in order to risk only 1% of my portfolio. Here, go into calculator, $10,000 I have, your total portfolio, $10,000, good. How much I want to risk of this portfolio? I want to risk just 1%, which is $100, right? And you guys can see here. Amount risk if stop loss gets hit, $100. Of course, if I'm risking 2%, my amount risk in this case would be $200, right? And so on. So 1%. How much is my stop loss? My stop loss from entry on EOS is 2%. So I'm gonna put 2% stop loss on my calculator here. 2%. So with this data, with the total portfolio $10,000, with the risk of 1%, with the stop loss of 2%, my position size, so the amount I have to put on this trade is $5,000, which is 50% of your total portfolio. Yes, that's exactly it. You have to put 50% of your total portfolio on this trade. This doesn't mean you're risking $5,000 because you have a stop loss. And when the stop loss gets hit, you're gonna lose just $100. So this is your risk, okay? So let's go take in the chart a look. Let's go. I'm confusing. Let's go take a look at the chart and see how those numbers match with the chart. Okay. I took a clean EOS chart. Okay. So this is the horizontal resistance I was tracing, and this is the retest, right? The retest I showed in the retest. That's what I wanted to buy, right? On the bounce of that retest. So we put our entry here, our stop loss just 2% below. I explained this already, why we put stop loss just right there. And let's just find a target for now to make it simple. Let's say I want to sell on this high right here. Okay. Okay. So let's say I wanted to sell there. So what I can tell from this trade and from this tool, which you can find here, long position tool. So what this tool tells you, it tells me the percentage the price will go up to my target. So when my target is reached, the trend will go up 21%. Okay, 21.44. And here, this 10.34, this is how many times your stop, the trend will go up. Okay, so in this case, my stop loss is 2%, right? And my profit is at 20%. So you can do an easy math. 20% divided by 2 is 10. So 10 times my stop. But what 10 times my stop actually means? It means 10 times your risk, right? Because this is my risk right here. Okay. This is my entry. Oh, damn it. Here. This is my entry. And how much I'm putting on my entry, I said. My position size, $5,000, right? That's what my calculator tells me to do. So my entry here, I'm putting $5,000. Okay, 5,000. Now, if this trade drops and hits my stop loss, how much I'm gonna lose? I'm going to lose what? Let's see how much I'm going to lose. $100, right? Why $100? Because that's 2% below my entry. That's my stop loss, right? So I'm going to lose $100. Why? Because it's 2% of 5,000. 5,000, what is 1% of 5,000? 50. So 1% is 50, 2% is 100. So I'm going to lose $100. So in this case, my position will go down to 49. Okay. And this is what? This is, oh, well, let's go here. This is your risk. Your risk on your total portfolio, okay? This risk can be 1% of your total portfolio, can be 2, can be however you want, okay? In this case, I wanted to risk 1% of my total portfolio. Don't get confused with the stop loss, because the stop loss in this case is 2%, okay? And the risk is 1%. Let's say my stop loss would be below here, 9%, okay? I still want to risk 1% of my portfolio. How I do that? I just have to move my stop loss to 10 here, okay? In this case, my position size will be $1,000, but I can show this later on. Okay, let's do 2 for now, and let's go 2 here. Okay, so if this trade reach my take profit, how much would I make? Let's make, you know, full number here instead of, you know, 21. Let's say 20%. Otherwise, you know, it gets complicated with the percentage thing, so you guys understand better, easier. Let's say 20%. Okay, how much would my position be if I reach take profit 1? Well, it will be up 20% of 5k, right? Which is 1k, right? 1k is my profit, and that will be a total of 6. Okay, so this is what 1k. What is 1k? Is my reward. Okay, reward. And what is my reward? My reward will be 10, 9.93, about 10. Okay, let's make 10, it's easier. Okay, why it's 10? Because it's 10 times my risk. Okay, I want to make it like this. It's less confusing. Okay, risk and the reward. So this is the famous risk reward I'm talking about. I've been talking about for so long. So this trade is what? This is a 1 to 10 risk reward. Let's type it pretty clear here. Risk reward 1 to 10. Okay, 40. Okay. So what I mean by this, if I'm risking $100, okay, I'm going to make 10 times my risk, which is $1,000 on this trade. Okay, how much is $1,000 of my total portfolio? You guys remember, my total portfolio was $10,000, right? So I'm risking $100, only 1%, in order to make 10 times that, so $1,000. Okay, so if I take this trade, I would increase my portfolio from $10,000 to $11,000. Okay, so how much my portfolio is up? 10%, right? Perfect. So if if I decided to don't take any profit on my take profit 1, 2, and 3, and just decide to raise my stop loss just 10% below my take profit. Okay, so this is what I want to show you guys. So let's say I reached here and I want to take a I want to raise my stop loss 10% below current price. So in this case, if I put my stop loss 10% below, will be about here. Okay, right there. Why I want to do that? Well, because I want to see if this trade can go higher, because I have my 5th target right here, I think, about this level. Okay, and you know, I'm a riskier trader. I want to take this trade from a different approach. I want to see if I can reach the target and make more money. Otherwise, you just sell and you're happy with it. I mean, it all depends what you want, okay? Of course, we suggest to sell on every profit, but I'm just showing you what you could have done, okay? EOS here, EOS didn't retrace at all. Just one time it retraced here on this wick, and actually didn't hit my stop loss, okay, when I was here, okay? Then the price went higher here, and what I do, I increase my stop loss just below, let's say, okay? Now I'm not doing the exact trade that I did, okay? But I'm just showing you the approach of a trailing stop loss. What does that do? Okay, I could have raised my stop loss just below here, and in this case, again, I would not get hit, right? Because the price didn't reach my stop loss. So I'm still good. I'm still in profit right now because my stop loss of 10%, it's about, okay, when I reached here, my stop loss was there. Then what happened? Let's put yours in red, stop loss. Then the price increased here, and I raised my stop loss 10% below the current price, and it's still good. So if these things keeps going up and I keep my stop loss 10% below, I can let the price go to the fifth target if I want. But what happens if the price actually drops and hits my stop loss and hit my stop loss? Well, I'm going to lose 10%. But you know, I'm willing to lose 10% because I'm still in profit here. I don't really care. And that's, you know, a different approach, right? So in this case, if my stop loss gets hit, I'm still up 60 reward, okay? So I'm still good. I don't care at this point. That's why I'm telling you guys that if I keep raising my stop loss and EOS doesn't have a huge correction and it actually reaches all the way up here where my target was, I'm going to make what? 20 reward, okay? What that 20 reward means, you should know by now. It means that I'm going to make 20 times my risk on this trade, okay? 20 times my risk. What that means, let's go back here. If I'm risking 1% on my portfolio, so $100, I'm going to make what? 20 times this. What is 20 times that? Is $2,000, okay? $2,000 is 20% of my total portfolio. So yes, I can make 20% with one single trade, okay? Now, what happens if I decide to risk 2% of my total portfolio? So in case my stop loss gets hit here, I'm going to lose $200. I'm willing to lose $200, okay? What would happen? Let's see here. My position size in this case will be $10,000. Yes, the whole portfolio on your trade. Okay, this does mean you're risking the whole portfolio, but you're risking only 2% of it because the stop loss is just 2% below, right? If I drop here, my position gets sold and I'm gonna lose $200. If I reach here, that's 10 times, right? And I'm gonna be 10 times my risk. How much that is? $2,000. I'm gonna have $2,000. So for a total of 12, okay? And if I reach even higher, 20 reward, how much I'm gonna make? I'm gonna make 20 times my risk. My risk is 2, so I'm gonna make 4K, right? Am I doing right? I think so. Which is $14,000. Because my entry was 10, okay? So if I'm risking 2% on this trade, 2% of my total portfolio, I'm actually going to make 40% on my total portfolio, okay? Yes, it's only one trade. That's why risk reward is so important to use, because it doesn't really matter the percentage of a coin, how much a coin will go up, because traders people members keep saying, oh, I did the 200%, I did 500%. Well, if you did 500% on a dollar, risking maybe $1 million, well, that's not smart. You always need to calculate your risk, right? Because people can put $1 million and go up, $100, and they say, oh, I did the 100% on that trade and I make $100, but you're risking $1 million. Well, that's not smart. So you always need to figure out your risk every time you trade, and then check your rewards. Okay. Stop loss is pretty much mandatory every time we daily trade, we swing trade. Holding is a bit different, because holding, maybe you have more an investment mentality, and even with that I would suggest stop loss. But some just don't have time for it, and they cannot enter the trade every time, so they believe in the project and they just go for the long term. But anyways, this is what I wanted to show you guys. What else can I show you guys here? Risk reward is very important, because even with scalping you can do those huge profit. Why? Because a position that you take, there is about, let's say, 1%, right? And I want to take to 10R. As you guys can see, there's 10. Okay, so this trade and this trade, okay, are exactly the same. They will give me the same exact profit. This is a 12% profit. This is 21% profit, but the reward is 10 here and 10 here. So both trades will give me the same increase in my portfolio, which will be 10R. Okay. And again, if you even go to the, I don't know, 1 minute chart, you want to scalp your 1 minute chart and you want to open a position here, you can do exactly the same on 1 minute chart. Oh my god, what is going on here? 1 second. Too small. Here. So this is a 5R trade. Why? Because stop loss is 1% and your take profit is 5%, right? If I, of course, decrease my stop, my reward will be 8. So higher is your stop loss, closer your stop loss to entry, higher will be your reward. Of course, if I take a stop loss that it's way below, it's like big as my reward, your risk reward will be way less. So that's why it's important to always consider a very close stop loss, as I did in EOS, right? And this is the EOS trade, right? It's still going up. Reached my first target was here, second target, third target, the fourth target it was here, and I'm hoping for a fifth target way above the current price, which I took it as from the 1 day chart, the order block on the 1 day chart, okay, where HVN of the PVR indicator, so the most volume traded is, okay. So anyways, so I hope you guys understood what I meant. This was a pretty careful, deep explanation of risk reward. If maybe lots of information at one time, but I suggest you guys to go over the video again. If you guys didn't understand a few things, watch it again and make sure you learn totally what this risk reward means, because if you keep going with the percentage, you're not going to increase your portfolio drastically as you could do with a risk reward strategy. Okay, what else? I mean, You guys are welcome in our premium whenever you want. We do amazing job here. We're very active. I can show you guys few of our channels here. We have a community chat, and we're super active here, where we give our support to every single member every day. We have our TA channel where we share many trades. This is just, let's see, this is just today, guys. You know, we are super active, and we update every single coin, and we try to use our bot as much as we can. And our bot is very interesting because it actually notifies you every time a take profit gets hit. You guys can see XLM here, Stellar hit take profit 1, take profit 2. I raised stop loss on Stellar. So we're improving a lot with the bot, and we're very happy with the results. Then we have our education channel, where we share tons of information regarding TA, fundamental analysis, psychology. We teach tools, we teach candlestick pattern, we teach strategies, mentality, trading mentalities, and all kind of things that can help you to become a better trader. What else? That's it. Those are our premium channels: education, TA, and chat. And then you guys know my free channel, of course. You guys are, you know, I try to give as many information as possible here, but you guys might imagine that people pay a fee in order to be premium, and we are working every day, and we feel that our subscription, it's just a penny in the bucket compared to what you could achieve with lots of knowledge, with a great team, and a great support every day. If you want to know more about our project, we will release a brochure soon, but you guys can go in our bot called CryptoVince bot and type start, and you will have all your information, or type subscribe, and everything will be displayed to you. You will have all the information you need. But for any other things, please contact myself, and we'll be happy to answer you guys. Okay, so stay safe. Hopefully the bottom is closed, and the bull market will start soon. I'll talk to you guys later. This is CryptoVince from CryptoVince.com. Telegram, CryptoVince, YouTube. You guys can follow us on YouTube. You guys can follow us on Twitter. We are everywhere. Okay, thank you guys, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye bye.